Do you know meaning?
Samurai Damashi. This is warrior spirit, right? And I got this from my rugby captain when I first came to Japan. Apart from arigato and konnichiwa, this was the first word I learned. I have 6 brothers and 4 sisters. I'm the number 8, and it's very hard growing up in a big family because we were a poor family, and growing up you never got anything new. It was always passed down from your older brothers, and I remember now I was growing bigger, but my brothers used to pass their shoes down to me. So when I got bigger, my feet were bigger than my brothers. So I ended up struggling to wear small shoes. So that was a big problem for me.
I've heard that you were a bit of a wild kid when you were younger. Are there any stories you can share with us?
Wild kid. I did everything in a way to speak out. Before I found rugby, I was going the way of joining gangs, and it didn't help that my brothers were in the gangs as well. But there were some things I did that I'm not proud of, and most kids go through that kind of stage, but I was lucky enough to get out of that. So when I came to Japan, I was 18 in 2001. Very young, first time I've left the country for a long time.
But you had some kind of problem with your knee?
Yeah, the style of rugby in Japan is very different from New Zealand, and I quickly found that most Japanese tackle from your hip down, where in New Zealand they tackle from your hip upwards, and it has to do with size. Japanese guys are more smaller, so they do go for the lower part of the body. So I had a lot of knee injuries and ankle injuries because of that.
So you decided to take a test for New Japan?
Yes. I had no idea what the progress was like, so it was I had to take a risk. After rugby, I had no other choice to go home, but I wanted to stay in Japan, and I thought, it's something I was always interested in, so why not just try it out?
Over the last few years, all-round athlete type wrestlers like AJ Styles and Kenny Omega have been gaining popularity. What are your thoughts on this trend?
My thoughts, I'm really into the old school. Like I said, I went through everything the Japanese way, and because I went through it, I really believe that New Japan have to keep their style, and I got nothing against what AJ and Kenny have done, and the way they wrestle and how their popularity has become because of the way they wrestle. Nothing against that. So because I love the old school style, and that's how I trained, I believe it can still carry on that way. Obviously I want to hit my own style, but I do I respect what the Gaijins have done in the past. Honor the Giant, Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen, all these guys. You got the Vader, I want to be in, I wanted to be like these guys, so I wanted to get the same level, and I hope one day in the future people will look back and say, include my name in that list, Under the Giant, Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen, Fale. That's my dream. So I like that old school style, and a lot of people don't think that kind of style works these days, but I don't think so, because everywhere I go, and people are surprised. They give you that, the surprise look, and that's what I feel pro wrestling is. It's not about what moves you can do. It's not about how high you can fly. It's just showing people that, your presence. You just turn up and people are like, wow, And I hope I get to the same level one day. I had one situation where a company from America offered me a good deal, and I turned it down because I hadn't achieved all my goals, and becoming the heavyweight champion is one of my goals. And for me, I can't leave if I won't feel right if I leave without achieving all my goals. So I have a lot of goals, and I haven't even achieved the main one, and that's becoming champion.
I personally feel like you've been waiting for 8 years for the title shot, IWGP.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the title match on Fukuoka?
A dream come true. But at the same time, man, being in Japan so long, you learn a lot. And one of the things I've learned about Japanese people is patience. They like to wait until the perfect time. And I've learned that from being in Japan and from Japanese people. And I wasn't worried. I knew I was going to get my chance, and I knew the time was going to be right. So 8 years may seem like a long time, but to me, it wasn't the right time. Even now, I'm still thinking I can wait another 5-6 years, and still get that chance. But dream come true, especially in Fukuoka is one of my favorite towns to be after living there for 5 years. Love the place, and to be able to come back there feeling like it's my hometown and to be a frontliner is a number one challenger. Dream come true.
How would you describe Okada? What is your plan to beat him?
My plan has always been to use my size. I like to think I'm really explosive with my speed, and I know he's smaller and more agile. But once I catch him, good luck to him, because I know how to use my weight and my speed and my power. So if I can get him down, then he's gonna feel my weight. I believe I'm going to win, but there's always that chance I don't. But even then, I believe this was the right chance to go for it. And whatever happens, as long as I'm there, and then I've stepped up to it. That's all.